Hello and welcome to the Student Leadership Summit. I'm Eddie Howard, Vice President of Student Affairs, and as you know, we're excited to have you come back to campus, and we just wanted to give you some information about all the changes that have happened on campus. So as you can see, I have my mask on. I'm gonna break protocol a little bit, take my mask off, tell you a little bit about what we need to do. Okay? So we've been working over the summer to develop a variety of information to help you understand what's the best way to come back. So I wanted to show, first of all, just the general information about all the expectations that we have for students as they return to campus. So we'll show that video now.
On the Youngstown State University campus, each of us must take extraordinary steps to stay healthy and protect each other, just as a colony of penguins do to survive in the wild. Therefore, all penguins must take the responsibility for their own health and help keep the penguin community safe by stopping the spread of COVID-19 and other infections. The For Pete's Sake videos were established to help guide the return to campus activity. Everyone at YSU is encouraged to adhere to these guidelines to help ensure the safest environment possible. Every day, everyone needs to assess their health before coming to campus. In the YSU app, under the YSU COVID-19 tile, click Daily Health Assessment for monitoring and reminders. If you are not feeling well or have any of the symptoms listed, you should not come to campus, or should leave campus and contact your doctor or healthcare provider. Take your temperature before leaving home, or visit one of the temperature stations set up in all campus buildings. If your temperature is over 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, you should remain off campus. Be sure to clean the thermometer before and after using it. If you have had contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19, or if you have traveled out of the state of Ohio within the last 14 days, or if you have been ordered to quarantine by a physician or government agency, you should self-quarantine in your home, residence hall, or apartment. For students, go to the YSU Office of Student Outreach and Support website and click the COVID-19 reporting form. Dr. Nicole Kent Strollo, a staff member or designee, will contact you at the number you provide. The office will help guide you in your next steps with any support and resources that may be necessary. For YSU faculty and staff, inform your supervisor about your situation. The Director of Environmental and Occupational Health and Safety, Julie Gentile, or her designee will contact you. Whenever you are on campus, whether that is in a study area, a classroom, sitting outdoors, or walking down the halls of campus buildings, we ask that you remain 6 feet apart from each other. Follow the signs in buildings that define specific directions for walking. In classrooms or in hallways, furniture has been moved or arranged to help you stay apart. Please do not move furniture that has been appropriately arranged, and do not unstack or use chairs that have been set aside. Face coverings are critical to minimizing risks to others and must be worn at all times while on campus. Appropriate face coverings include cloth or disposable masks, face shields, and bandanas. Keep your face covering over your mouth and nose for the best possible effectiveness. You may only remove your face covering while actively eating or drinking, or using the restroom. Be sure to place your covering back on when you are done with these activities. Refrain from touching your face, as this can spread germs. Take care of your face coverings each day by washing them or properly disposing of them. Youngstown State University is aware that some students with disabilities may not be able to wear a face covering on campus. If an exemption or substitution is needed, please have your treating professional fill out the documentation form on the YSU Disability Services webpage and return it to that office. You must then schedule an appointment to meet with a coordinator to discuss your needs in the classroom. If you have any questions, please call the office at 330-941-1372 or email us at cspds5@ysu.edu. YSU encourages all members of the YSU community to scan into classrooms and campus spaces they are in for longer than 15 minutes to assist with COVID-19 reporting and responding when necessary, and keeping our penguins healthy. Each classroom, meeting room, or lab will have a QR code at the entrance. Use the YSU app to scan before entering. The scanner is located on the YSU app in the upper corner. Also through the YSU app are improvements to your YSU ID, now called the Y Card. You can use your virtual Y Card for touchless scanning, entering the rec, using resources at Mog Library, and even to make purchases using any Pete's points or meal plans you may have on your card. Find your virtual Y Card on the YSU app by clicking the Y Card tile. From there, go to the Virtual ID button. To prevent the spread of the coronavirus, wash your hands thoroughly and often with soap and water. Campus buildings are now outfitted with new hand washing stations to allow everyone to wash frequently. Scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds, rinse well, and dry with a paper towel, properly discarding the towel when finished. One bay of each station will have accommodations for those with disabilities. Hand sanitizers are also available all over campus. Use them often. When you sit at a table, desk, or other workspace on campus, the YSU community is asked to assist in keeping our penguins safe by wiping down workspaces before and after use. Thank you to all penguins for following these guidelines and keeping yourself and those around you safe. Be well and stay informed about COVID-19 guidelines by clicking the button on the YSU homepage.
So the video really encompasses all of the For Peak's Sake guidelines we put in place here at Youngstown State University. As that student organizations, it's important for you. You play a critical role in helping us provide activities and events on campus. But we also need you to do that in a very safe way. So our goal is not to prohibit the events and activities that you do, but we do want to give you some guidance on things that we've changed this year, but also in a way to help you execute some of the events that you might plan. So first and foremost, we want to make sure that everybody wears their mask. We also want to make sure that every student and every student organization understand and also takes the Penguin Protection Pledge that we have, and it talks specifically about how you will participate in that process of making sure that everyone else is safe on campus. We also have our COVID-19 reporting. We've been working pretty closely with the committee that I really oversee this semester was our Return to Campus Committee. It's a safe return to campus, and we've been working on a variety of things. Hopefully you're using your campus app, and that will allow you to get access to your student ID now that's virtual. And you'll also have an opportunity to report. You can take your temperatures, you can do a variety of things using the app. We're talking about in-person meetings. As the video talked about, we really want to limit those in-person meetings to about 10 individuals that will be in your meeting. So find ways while you're on campus to limit the number of gatherings that you have on campus and make sure that you can use larger areas. You can have a variety of more people there. Organizations are encouraged to use the app to develop check-in processes, and we have these QR codes that we've been using in classrooms, and we hope those can be used for some of the events to help us track what you're doing as well, also to track attendance. We want to make sure that the physical distancing is important for us as an institution, and so when you plan activities and events, keep the 6 feet in mind so that we'll make sure that everyone is safe. We want to encourage good hygiene by using the hand washing stations that we have all across campus. There are about 10 of those that are located, and I think the video talked a little bit about the hand washing stations as well that were available to our students. We also provide a variety of opportunities for students to get involved virtually. We're going to have some events on campus that are going to really kind of support some of the virtual events that we have. We want to encourage you to develop some virtual activities too that students can get involved in, or events that will have a smaller number of people that can get engaged in, and so our Student Government Association can be there to help. When it comes to tabling, I think we've decided that you need to be limited in the number of tablings that we have on campus. So you'll see that area downstairs that you usually use for tabling, that area is not there this year. So our tabling ability to table has been really limited this year as well. Bake sales have been suspended. So if you usually use that as an opportunity to generate some resources, we're not allowing you to do that, but I think there can be some creative ways that you can sell items virtually that can still help you raise and generate some funds. Off-campus gatherings, we spent a lot of time talking a lot about risk management, the importance of being safe. I think I did a whole workshop on risk management at one time. And so it's important for you as students to understand the risk associated with events on and off campus. Now what you got to do is look at all of the guides we've given you when it comes to social gatherings and use that information as you're building your event. You're going to need to have a protocol in place for counting the people that are coming. You're going to need to anticipate making sure you have good hygiene, washing your hands, making sure people wear masks, right? So all those things that you normally would do in event planning, now you got to think about how to keep people safe as you develop your activities and events or gatherings that you're having with your students. We also want to make sure that those are aligned with all the food service type of area when it comes to food safety, when it comes to space on campus, that those are aligned with all of the programs that requirements we put in place. In addition, the Student Government Association will be there and available to provide some programming dollars for you when it comes to special type of events. And so it's important for you to work with our student government officers to be creative about ways that you can develop new activities. And then finally, I think one of the things that we wanted to make sure we had clear, we've also for this fall semester suspended travel. And we know that a lot of students utilize travel for conference participation and things like that. We won't be doing that this year, but if there is a virtual conference or there's a conference or a webinar that you want to participate in and you want to bring something to campus, I think those would be really good ways to utilize your student government funds. And so I would put, if I were you, I'd put together a request to our Student Government Association. If they're hosting a virtual conference for your fraternity or sorority or for your honor society or something like that, I would definitely encourage you to submit your request to our Student Government Association so they can help you finance those opportunities. I understand that this is going to be a year like no other. There will be a lot of other things happening. We've asked you to do a lot, and our hope is that people will really follow all the guidelines that are in place to ensure that we have a safe semester. We're hoping that you do that as a student organization, that you practice good hygiene, you practice wearing your mask, you practice doing having events that keep people safe. And if you can do that for us, I think we can get through the end of the semester without any major problems. So, but if for some reason something happens that we need to shift or pivot, we'll be sure to let you know, and our staff is here to give you guidance along the way. So thank you for listening in. I hope the information that we provided was helpful.
Once again, thank you so much for coming to our virtual Student Leadership Summit. You know, as Mr. Howard mentioned before, things look a little different this time around, but we tried to model the program as close as what you're used to in the past. So the next portion of our program starts with our individual sessions that we have, and there are 5 different sessions that you're able to choose from between each time period. So each session runs approximately 40 minutes, and on the website itself, you have the different links and descriptions about what the presenters are going to cover during their presentations. So hopefully you spent some time with your student organization members to divide and conquer the schedule to be able to get as much information as you can out of the workshops we've prepared for you today. But of course, starting at 2 o'clock, you're going to have 5 different options for you to go to. And then within that next 40-minute bracket, you'll see on the website that there's another section that starts at the 2:50 time block. And then session 3 is going to start at 3:40. So each of the action button, the red buttons, has the link to the WebEx meeting room that you're going to be able to go ahead and watch. All the passwords are the same. They're Summit 20, which is a capital S, so it is case sensitive for you to kind of check out. So make sure you use that as you're entering it. And from there, please enjoy the session. The presenters are expecting you to ask some questions and normally might have a co-presenter just to kind of help and field some of those questions throughout the presentation. Last but not least, during our last session, starting at 4:30, we have our guest keynote speaker, James Rovalata. And he's going to be joining us and talking about leading imperfectly. And especially in such a time of uncertainty, he's definitely going to address some of those things that you might be facing as a student leader. So we're excited to have him. He's going to put a smile on your face, at least let you laugh a little bit, even through a virtual WebEx session. So we hope you take the time to really enjoy this and to also make sure that you're doing your best to learn as much as you can for your student organization, just to be able to get us started off for the year. Once again, thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to check us out at the Student Activities Office.